Okay, this paper is the paper that I'm going to focus on. The main gist of the paper is that they wanted to use but just one tokenizer to actually like for the model, and to prove that that universal tokenizer can actually outperform all the other rest types of tokenizer which are specialized for specific languages and specified for specific tasks, or language translation, different specific tokens. They are trying to prove that it can generalize to unseen new tokens or new languages or new multilingual zones. So that's the main gist of the paper. So the challenges, limitation in training, reliance in tailored pre-train which are not actually trained on those tokens. And when you are actually trying to train on on the new language or fine-tune new language, it does not have a concrete understanding of the data set, of the tokens, even to even be able to understand or capture some sort of context. Then they are looking at this their universal tokenizer as a idea which can actually reduce that can actually reduce like the stress of actually having multiple tokenizer and specializing in different specific languages, and like just having a tokenizer which should be able to embed all the tokens and make it easier to fine tune models. So they have two types. They are that they actually use. They have the cluster, and they have the universal tokenizer. The cluster tokenizer was just meant for just the specific languages, like specific different languages, while the universal tokenizer encapsulates all of them, which are 69 languages, like 175 variants, 100 actual ones. Then they trained it on they further validated on actually underrepresented languages and like fully unseen languages, and they had tokenizer variants like cluster specific and the universal, like I just said, like and the 62 different language from European East, Asian and Middle East. So I think the optimized transformer, NVIDIA 100 each 100 GPUs, high quality cooled and instruction data sets. Then we have the pre-training data. Then we have the tokenizer training the weight, meaning that they use the language weighting, and they use the bypair encoder with language weighting, which they claimed it was better than a uniform encoder, which was better than a uniform weighting because the dataset was skewed towards English. Then they did it, they used LM as a judge to do the benchmarks, task specific on multilingual comprehension, English only evaluations across 11 different benchmarks. We have simple, we have truthful QA and the rebuke QA. And since I'm really running a bit out of schedule, I'll just go to the next slide. Like these are the benchmarks that I use to verify. Then the performance is obvious. The universal tokenizer outperforms the rest. except the MMU benchmark, which he underperforms, and just by the cluster tokenizer under European. But overall, it is the best. So soon I'm just going to go to the gist of things and things they can be added to the paper, which can actually improve it, and things that I think good research directions for the paper. Then we have universal versus cluster tokenizers. Yeah, the universal C outperforms most of them. It was basically the point of the paper. Even the gains, the respective gains and improvements, they were outperformed by the universal tokenizer, even in continued pre-training. So even the target adaptation benefits, even fully unseen languages, yeah, outperform the others. Then against CV approaches, which are other cross-lingual vocabulary adaptation techniques, is still um, um, even after comparison to CVA, universal tokenizer actually just on pre-training was still superior to it. Then like the for 100% um, that a normal tokenizer will use, which is a cluster tokenizer, the universal tokenizer slashes that by 88%, like and just needs but 12% more training steps to actually reach its target win rate for the equivalent task. So yeah, I'm going to talk about what I think I'm improved. There's a new Babel on paper, which is a text to image generation paper, which uses but what we will call cluster tokens in this case, specialized tokens, tokenizer, sorry. The instead, I think in this paper, since it's still a Cohere paper, I think if the we can actually use this universal tokenizer in this case, yes, because I think one of the reasons why I was not having performance gains was because like the relationship between the tokenizers, if you read the paper, like so but this universal tokenizer it has the ability to contextualize more context between cross-lingual tokens. So I think the output will be better and more context will be captured. Yeah, this is still about the 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 paper. So I mixed that slide a bit. So supposed to add, I'll talk about. So yeah, I think we can also optimize the weighting performance because they only tested against the uniform um weighting to the best of my knowledge after I read the paper. um Actually it should I think they can use something more of a temperature based sampling because it adapts more to like underrepresented languages because um it's more dynamic and actually the is more fuzzy to change rather than the weight, which is like more of a soft marks because like it's similar to soft marks, not like it's soft marks because you're taking the specific weight or like some of the other weights. But with this temperature. You can adjust the probabilities, sampling probabilities by temperature, which is another parameter. And adjusting can actually, depending on like the data that the tokens that are coming in, can adjust, can be fine, it can be tuned to that. I can also have loss based weighting, which is based on actually the token representation, mean that the loss, the corresponding loss function. You can actually base the weighting on that, which is actually also like really corresponding to change. Like, then I think to really hit the nail, we can actually use Latin concept vectors for image generation. Like we're actually using, like if you read the coconut paper by Meta, they actually use the paper like their paper actually converts tokens, right, into context embeddings. This context embeddings, like, there are interactions between tokens, like, and if we actually use this instead of using from an image to text, from a text to image, like, right, we actually use these context embeddings, like we're able to capture stronger relationships between underrepresented tokens, because it captures by the context, not, they're not passed by the token to try to predict like generate the image, right? It uses by the context embeddings. So these are all the principles. Like, there might be other things to add, but I've taken too much time. Yeah, so thank you.